two teachers. Our junior class teacher, Mrs. Smith, leaves to take up a job at Tartanui, where Mrs. Manning departs to London on a youth exchange. We would like to start prize giving by singing a selection of songs from Britain. As Mrs. Manning arrives in London, she may hear the boom of Big Ben and the bells of England, pealing the tune Oranges and Lemons.
While Mrs. May is braving the cold in England at Christmas time, here in Elstow we will be celebrating Christmas in the summer. Some of us might even spend Christmas on the beach.
Absolutely lovely. And also, if we just take a quick look around at the artwork, it's beautiful. All produced by the children. A terrific job to give us that theme of Britain. Where one of our staff, as we all know, departs for on Monday. And without any further ado, I'm going to ask Stephen Walworth to come forward to make a small presentation to Mrs. Manning.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the children, parents and staff of Elstow School, I would like to ask Mrs. Manning to come forward and accept the small gift. We hope you enjoy your adventure next year and that you'll find this present in use. Have a great time, but don't get too cold in all that snow.
Chairman of the Board of Trustees, who took over earlier this year, and though his main job was to keep the principal in line, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty around the school. So put your hands together for Mr. Roger Hill.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, good morning. Welcome to everyone to the Elstow School Prize Giving in our 93rd year. I wonder how much we have changed in 93 years. Listen. What do you hear? That's my children actually having to listen to me. Change. What springs to mind with this word? Who can tell me what springs to mind with change? Children? Yes, please. Any other ideas? Money. Okay, change can mean many things. Change or left behind after the rest is spent. Change may mean a change of environment. Change could also be a change of personnel or a change of attitude maybe. For us, in the Elstow school community, change is happening continuously. Perhaps I could help you to recall some of the changes that have taken place at Elstow in 1993. During the last Christmas holidays, Jeff Bolstad and some willing helpers carried out the field drainage. This change has meant less muddy feet and less muddy clothes. The school year began with the appointment of Louise Green as our deputy principal, a teacher, but alas, with no classroom. She has dovetailed into the framework of Elstow School and has significantly relieved Gary's workload. She has won our admiration for her dedication. The 5th classroom was finally installed nearly 1 term late after a great deal of frustration and some ministerial letters and meetings. The school also had changed appearance with a new paint inside and out, and now also a new sign. 1993 has had its share of memorable community events. Swimming and athletic sports, jump rope for heart, cross country, cart club day, and the conservation presentation. The participation and interest of our parents and grandparents is something I hope will never change. The 4-term year, another change? Well, not this time, but I'm sure that this is a change that we will one day look forward to or endure, depending on our viewpoint. So what will change in 94? For Form 2s, there will be the dramatic change of leaving Elstow's cocoon and venturing to the world of college. To all 12 of you, as you start as the juniors again, after being the seniors, might I say, all the best. Don't forget your time at Elstow. I'm sure the staff would love to see you visit in the future. Farewell, although they're not leaving, but they are leaving the school, to the Kerr, Lyons and Gibson families who have their youngest children leaving the school this year. I would especially like to acknowledge the large contributions of time and effort made by the Kerr family and the Lyons family over many years. For those returning to Elstow, many of you will see change. A change of class, and maybe a change of teacher also. Diane Smith, who is leaving us after 11 years, will experience major change. We wish you well as you take up your new challenge, Diane. Anne Manning is departing for the middle of an English winter and is certainly in for a cool change. We look forward to your return in 1995, Anne. For Anne's exchange teacher, Sarah O'Brien from England, teaching in a small New Zealand rural school will certainly be a change. Finally, forgetting change for a moment, thank you to our hard-working board. Cheryl, Philip, Jeff, Shirley and our staff rep Anne for your support in 1993. Thank you to all the staff and to our principal. Your professional approach and dedication show through in your students and put us, I believe, alongside the best schools. Thank you to our cheery school secretary. And thank you to our jovial cleaning ladies and to our organised groundsmen. Thank you to the PTA for your unrelenting support. Without the substantial contributions made by the PTA, the funding of our school would be extremely difficult. Thank you to mother helpers, working bee helpers, in fact all parents, grandparents and others who have contributed in any way to our school. And of course, thank you to the young people here. Thank you for making Elstow School a happy learning environment. Change there has been, and change there will be. Enjoy it. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
First of the prize giving sections, and I'd like to start with the Most Improved Netballer Award and ask Cheryl Ellison. Thought I'd left something up from there, Rod. To ask Cheryl Ellison to come forward to present the Most Improved Netball trophy to Stephanie Rowe. Also speech makers to stand on. A job that's done every year reluctantly by some people, happily by other people, sometimes with joy, sometimes with having to chase people around as our bus warden jobs. The bus wardens don't have an easy job. Not everybody's well behaved all the time. Even I've been known to misbehave once or twice. But to our three maid bus wardens this year, thank you very much for the work you've put into the safety of other children on the bus, because it is appreciated. And I would like Lisa Orr, Stephen Walworth and Jeffrey Castledine to come to accept their certificates from the New Zealand Police Force for bus warden work. A belated good morning, and may I also welcome everybody to our prize giving this year. Each year I seem to start by saying, where did the year go? So as not to disappoint anybody, where did the year go? Thank you. It seems like only last week that we walked out of the hall saying, prize giving's over, thank goodness. Won't have to worry about that for a long time again. We've done nothing but worry for the last 10 days. As in the past, 1993 has been a busy year. It's not that bad a speech. The children have had many different opportunities presented in their schooling this year, and this can only be a positive thing for them. We've had trips away, visiting performers into the school, and sports days, and occasionally we've even sneaked some time inside the classroom. These type of activities help to deliver a balanced education. Gone are the days when learning only came from reading a textbook, thank goodness. I know I'm biased, and I feel I have every reason to be biased. But I do feel we have a successful school here at Elstow, and I'd like to take just a few minutes to focus on the reasons for that success. All around us we hear of schools in strife with clashes between principals and boards and staff, or boards and communities. I often wonder why this occurs, and each time I come back to one key word, and that word is communication. With good communication, a great number of supposed problems can be stopped before they even start. This is what I feel helps make us successful. We have good lines of communication open between staff, myself and the board, and between the school as a whole and the community. I would like to think that if people have problems, they will come and talk them over, and not let them fester until it's too late to do anything about them. As long as we have these open lines of communication, there is less likelihood of problems arising. This communication is especially important in the working relationship between myself, the staff and the board, the need for each to know their roles and responsibilities. This is something which works extremely well at Elstow. Our board accepts their governance role well and allows the staff and myself to get on with the running of the school. After all, it is supposed that we are the professionals and are supposed to know what's going on. Too often boards try to run schools on a day-to-day basis, and that's where your problems arise. It will be similar to me coming onto your farm and telling you how to run it. Rest assured, land prices will drop very quickly. A real strength of this board is the fact that it is united. Once a matter has been discussed and a decision reached, the whole board supports it regardless of personal views earlier. This can only be good for the school, and I can assure you that contrary to what some people may believe, the board does not simply agree with everything the principal says, and neither should it. Don't take me too literally, Roger. Communication is what I think is the key to the running of a successful school. Maybe if people in general opened up their personal lines of communication, we wouldn't have the same number of problems affecting communities that we do. However, that is probably another matter entirely, and one left to people far more educated than me to debate. To end, I'd like to once again thank my staff. Your dedication to all our children is to be commended, and the extra hours that you put in, often unseen, are much appreciated. Your role in the success of this school cannot be overemphasised. To the board, once again, my public thanks for your support. Your hearts are definitely in the right place, and it was good to have a group of parents who are able to see beyond their own children and see what is best for all of our children. To the PTA, so well led by Donald Ellison, my thanks. Your work around the school is invaluable, not just for the money you raise, although we do like that, but for the way you are able to get people together. Please keep it going. To all parents, once again, my thanks for your continued support, because without it, we would not be able to do half the things we're doing now. And most importantly of all, my thanks to you kids. Without you, we haven't got a school. And you're all to be commended for your positive attitude towards your schooling. And it is that which makes Elstow School such a pleasurable place to teach at. Well, that's probably enough for me at the moment, but don't panic, don't worry, I will be back. Thank you very much. Doors are starting to get open, so I better be quick. We now come to one of the most important parts of our prize giving, and that is to farewell our former school pupils. Some of this group I've taught since they were in Standard 4, and so we've had the pleasure of each other's company for 3 years. Others are more recent arrivals, but they've all left their mark on the school over the period of this year, in various ways. As a group, you can be very proud of the example you've set around the school, particularly in the latter part of the year, when thoughts of college start getting very strong in people's minds, and maybe the motivation to keep working isn't as strong as it once was. At this time of the year, I gauge the calibre of a group by the comments passed in the staff room, and I can assure you that these have been only positive, so therefore you must be doing your job well. You've set high standards for the next year's Form 2s to match, wherever they're hiding, and no one can ask any more of a group than that. I can honestly say that I've enjoyed our year together, and I hope that the feeling is reciprocated. We've had our moments, but the good times have certainly outweighed the not so good. As you move on to college next year, I hope that what you've learned at Elstow stands you in good stead. I know that Te Aroha College has a high regard for ex-Elstow students, and I'm positive that you can live up to those expectations. We've sent good groups of students on to college in the past, and I know we are sending another good group this year. Best of wishes to you all at college, to those going on to Te Aroha, and to those going further afield. Remember, you'll always be welcome back at Elstow. And also remember, as you go through college, it is easier to say hello to someone when you meet them again than to pretend you've never seen them. I would now like to ask Don Ellison on behalf of the PTA to present you all with your calculators, and hope that when you use these in the future, it will be with fond memories of Elstow School. Navi Senchugel. Lisa Orr. Reading Kerr. Shane Buckton. Bolstead. Jeffrey Castleton. Stephen Mulworth. Charles Gibson. Melissa McPherson. Joelle Lyons. And I sincerely hope that you have now all got a calculator because we've got none left up here. I would now like to ask Regan Kerr to come forward and reply on behalf of the Form 2s.
Good morning. It's my privilege today to address you on behalf of the Form 2s, and I'd like to share some of my memories of my schooling life in Elstow with you. But first, I'd like to thank the PTA for the calculators given to us as farewell gifts. I'm sure in the years to come that these calculators will get put to good use. And no doubt, as I recall it, my first day at Elstow School on the 28th of March 1986 wasn't as traumatic as it could have been, as my elder brother was already here, and I had been to school with my mum for various activities. I'm only one of 12 pupils in our Form 2 group who have had their whole primary education at this school. Joelle is the other person. The rest of our group of 12 joined us at various times throughout the years. Both Joelle and I had the pleasure of having Mrs. Smith as our junior teacher from J1. During 1987, the Bolsteds moved to Elstow, and Janice came to our school and has continued here till the present time. I'd like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to Mrs. Smith for all she's done for us, not just in the junior room, but since then too. As you can see, she did a great job. I hope you enjoy your new position, and I hope it does well. After 2 years in Mrs. Smith's room, we then graduated